Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Four Lads One Record. I hope you are all doing well in this beautiful end of week. Well, I said beautiful, but it depends from where you watch our listeners. But here in Madrid, it's kind of sunny, so that's a good thing. I'm joined today by two of my three usual lads in this podcast, Darin and Jotis. How are you, Darin and Jotis? You're good?
I'm all
Yeah,
good.
not
Joining
bad,
from
not
a
bad.
different place today, but everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Yeah, as you maybe have seen, guys, Alex is not here because he's an expert of French league, as you know, and he has to prepare, he has to work, and he doesn't have time to be with us today, but he will, of course, be with us the next times. Before we begin, because we have lots of great subjects to talk about today, once again, please follow us on social media, support us by putting a like, a comment, share our content on our various platforms. We are on Spotify, on YouTube, Instagram, and X. So thank you for that. And we're going to start this podcast by talking about the topic that I think everyone have in mind right now, the Champions League round of 16. It's fair to say that we've seen some fantastic results this week, and in particular, a huge number of goals scored, 32 goals coming off the board across these 8 first leg matches. So that's an average of 4 goals per game. That's all
Insane.
we ask when we watch Champions League. So that's a great point. We will, of course, discuss all those games and maybe our predictions for the rest of the competition. But first of all, yeah, I'd like us to go a bit over the Switch result together. And we'll start with a match we were all looking forward to, especially you, Darren. That's Galatasaray against Liverpool with a final score of 1-0 for Galatasaray. Great victory once again. They managed to beat the Reds at home a second time this year. That's amazing. Darren, before we hear your thoughts on the aftermaths of this clash, your prediction for the rest, I just want you to tell us about that game, what you thought about your team's performance, and what are your feelings about that incredible result.
Well, first, I just want to say one word, deja vu, because we've beaten them once more this season, and the score is also the same. At home, we beat them 1-0, and again, we beat them 1-0. And apart from that, as you mentioned, I just want to state that we played really, really good as a team. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole team was constantly pressuring Liverpool, trying to block their ways of passes to prevent them from playing their game. I think we've seen a better Liverpool compared to the first game, but just as
Mhm.
Liverpool was better, I think Galatasaray was also better compared to the first game. Of course, 1-0 is a risky score to go to Anfield, but I think a victory is a victory. It's really, really important to go there with this score. It could have been 2-0 also. There was one goal that was ruled out for Galatasaray because of offside. And if you ask me, I don't think the offside rule should be like that because the player that was in offside does not play with the ball. He's just making a run. And the
Mhm.
goal was out because he was just running towards the ball, but he didn't even touch the ball or he didn't even actually move towards the ball. So yeah, other than that, Liverpool also scored a goal, but right before scoring, Konate touched the ball with his arm, so that goal was also
Yeah.
cancelled due to handball. But in overall, as I said, I think the performance of the team was really, really good, especially players like Noah Lang, Ismail Jakobs, and the goalkeeper Uğurcan Çakır, as usual. He was phenomenal. He saved lots of chances against Liverpool and prevented them from scoring. So yeah, I think it's a really, really important victory because, as I said before, this game was going to be tougher than the first one because Liverpool lost the first game and they came here for revenge. So it wasn't going to be as
Yeah.
easy as the first game. Not that it was easy in the first time, but it was harder than the first game. But I think we showed real class and real character on the pitch, and it's a fully deserved victory. I hope we can hold the score on the Anfield game too. We should talk a bit more about that as well, but it's going to be tough. I don't want to talk big, but right now I'm quite happy.
Yeah, amazing victory, amazing result. With a goal, an early goal at the 7th minute by Mario Lemina, a
Yeah.
player we know very well, especially also in France because he played a long time in our championship too. Assist by Victor Osimhen. That reminds me the last time when we talked about the role of Victor Osimhen in this team. That
Yeah.
sometimes he may be the guy who score to get big results for Liverpool, but also the guy that provide assist, that try to be more aggressive, that try to encourage the play of his team, and that's
Yeah.
I think a good performance from Victor Osimhen. Is there you talk about Noah Lang, Ismail Jacobs? Is there any other player you want to mention during that game that you felt that you get a great impression, or do you want to see more maybe on the pitch?
Wilfried Singo was really, really amazing as a right back.
Hmm.
He had a long injury. He was one of the record-breaking transfers in terms of the money that we paid at the beginning of the season. Victor Osimhen is the highest amount with 75 million euro deal, and Wilfried Singo, we paid around 30 million euros for him. And I think for a right back, that's a huge amount of money. And he was injured for like 2 months or something. So there were lots of rumors and questions on the newspapers, on TV channels. Everyone was like questioning him. Is he worth this money? But he showed this class once more. He's amazing in terms of physical performance and strength. Also, the number 53, Barış Alper Yılmaz, the Turkish winger of
Mhm.
Galatasaray. He's really, really amazing. I mean, he's super fast. He's super strong. I think the only downside is that sometimes he fails to make the last decision very properly. You know, that last pass or that last shot. He's not a very good decision maker, but he's really, really strong physically and his stamina is insane. So I think he's one of the biggest engines of the team. But in overall, if I have to sum, I think the entire team was really, really focused on the game, and everyone was just really good. I don't think there was anyone that I should say he played bad. I don't think
Yeah.
it happened. I think the whole team was good.
Okay, just two things to add. I read also and I saw some highlights. The goalkeeper of Galatasaray also made a great game. I think seven
Yeah.
saves or something like this in the game. So that's quite impressive. Also, an information that I wanted to talk a bit with you, Darren, is that Davinson Sanchez, due to his yellow card, will be missing the next game in Anfield. In your opinion, who is the guy that should replace him in this second leg?
You know, we don't have a secondary center back actually. I mean, we have a young player, but I don't think he has the experience to play at Anfield. So the coach is gonna choose either Wilfried Singo as the center back because I
Yeah.
think he played center back before in his career also, so he's
Mhm.
familiar with the position. Or he's gonna convert Mario Lemina into playing a center back. I
Yeah.
personally, I would choose Mario Lemina as a center back because I don't want to remove Wilfried Singo from the right back position. I think he's really, really good in that position. I mean, in the first game, he was able to lock up with Gakpo, Cody Gakpo, and in the second game, like couple days ago, he was able to lock up Florian Wirtz really, really well. So I think he should play right back, but if coach wants to choose him and in center back, it's not much of a problem because we have Sasha Boy in the substitute as well, so he can play right back and Wilfried Singo can play center back.
Okay, nice. So yeah, we're gonna see what the coach choices next week. Jotis, that's a good result for you because Liverpool lost, I guess. There's another game I want to talk about with you, with another team you love. It's this game between Newcastle and Barcelona. Where the result was decided late in the game as the English side opened the scoring in the 88th minute thanks to Harvey Barnes before conceding the equalizer from late penalty by Lamine Yamal.
For Barcelona, yes and no. The thing is, when I saw it was 1-0 and then they were heading to the final minutes, I was like, okay, that's great, but they just defend, they can just park the bus in Camp Nou when they meet next week. But then I was thinking, usually if they go in with a 1-0 win into Camp Nou, Barcelona will just go all out attack, and it's
Yeah.
very likely that Newcastle can survive that kind of pressure. But now that it's 1-1, they're going to be a bit more relaxed. I think they won't be that intensity of going all out attack like we saw against Atletico, for example. I think Newcastle has a better chance now going into Camp Nou that Barcelona strategy might be different. Their game plan might be a bit different than if it was 1-0. So I feel like it's good for Barcelona, but at the same time, Newcastle can still turn things around and win this. For that game, for that goal of Barcelona, it was really stupid from Newcastle to commit a foul like that in the final minute. It could have been avoided like so easily. Yeah. Having said that, I think Newcastle are still in it, so they could knock Barcelona out. Would be crazy, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, you're right to say that because this result, I don't know if you share this opinion also, Darren, but feels like it has different aspects. As you said, of course, Newcastle doesn't have the right to commit such a foul at the end of the game because they were like getting a great result by beating Barcelona. And if you remember, in my prediction, I predicted that Newcastle will beat Barcelona in this double confrontation. And I think for me, the only key that permits Newcastle to beat Barcelona is the win at home. I think that's very important. If they don't beat Barcelona at home, it's going to be very difficult. But in the other side, well, Newcastle, I think, had way more pressure than they're going to have in the second leg, because this game was in their stadium and they have nothing to lose. I think no one is expecting Newcastle to beat Barcelona 3-0 in Camp Nou. So when I saw Newcastle played, for example, against PSG in recent years and also in Premier League against big teams, when they play without that level of pressure, without that level of stress, I think that the moment they can be really dangerous. They have the players that can make Barcelona's defense really like weak, in my opinion. And of course, Barcelona will have the advantage. I think if they focus good, if they do the things like they know how to do them, they will beat Newcastle and qualify to the quarterfinals. But this result is not the greatest result they could get. And I think this game at the Camp Nou will be hard for them to secure and to qualify.
No, I agree. And did you see Araujo's clips with how horrible his defending was?
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, Barcelona is defensively at least not in the best place. So Newcastle has really good chances.
Yeah, true. There's also like a banter going on the social media because almost all of the English teams lost. I mean, Tottenham was defeated,
Yeah.
and City were defeated, Liverpool lost. I mean, everyone lost except for Newcastle. So Barcelona is getting bantered a little bit in social media. Like people are saying all these teams, everyone were successful against English teams, whereas of course Barcelona failed. And I also wanted to point out a bit about Lewandowski as well. And I think Barcelona is really, really in need of a proper striker. I mean, I haven't watched Barcelona that much in La Liga this season, only a couple of games, but after watching Newcastle game, I'm pretty sure it was the same in the previous La Liga games as well, but Barcelona needs a proper striker to finish. I mean, they're really good in the build-up. They're really good in controlling the possession of the game, the passing and finding chances, but they cannot finish. I mean, Lewandowski was a great striker once, as we all know. I'm not even debating about Ferran Torres. We all know his finishing level. So yeah, it's time for Lewandowski to. I'm sorry, but like hang his cape, and Barcelona should find someone else. Hopefully not Victor Osimhen, because I've seen rumors about it on X as well, on Twitter. People were like opening hashtags saying Osimhen to Barcelona. To be fair, from an objective point of view, I think Osimhen would help this Barcelona team level up so much if he joins Barcelona. Like, I mean, the firepower that he has, the work rate that he has, I imagine that he will be the perfect match with Hansi Flick's play style if he joins Barcelona. So yeah, I just want to point out that Barcelona needs a striker because it cannot go on like this. If you want to win Champions League, you need to have a proper goal scorer. Every team in the past who won the Champions League had a proper goal scorer. It doesn't have to be a striker in the sense, but you need to have someone that carries the scoring. For example, last season in PSG was Dembele. Before that, it was Vinicius Junior in Real Madrid, even Rodrigo. When you go before that, there's Haaland in Man City. So yeah, I think Barcelona needs someone to score lots of goals in those chances and not miss them.
Yeah, you're right to say that it's important. And also, we could mention the role of Rafinha, who is maybe due to his injuries this season, but at a lower level than he was previously. And I think also his leadership is missing for Barcelona during those past games. Of course, he was the guy that scored every time in the big games in the Champions League. Remember last season he was top scorer and top assister, I think, in the competitions. Even if you have great players such as Lamine Yamal, Rafinha can also be great, Pedri. But you're right to say that they need a proper striker. And of course, Lewandowski is an amazing, legendary striker, legendary player. But now he's 38 years old or something like this. So they need to find at least someone that can score 25, 30 goals per season, which is really important for big teams. And it's simple, as you said, when you watch teams that won the Champions League recently, even Dembele, who is not a pure striker, last season transformed into one and scored more than 35 goals in a season. So, of course, Barcelona needs that. So, yeah, we're going to see what the choices of Hansi Flick will be next week. We're now going to look at two matches, in which more than 7 goals were scored in each game last Tuesday. Starting with Bayern Munich crushing 6-1 away win against Atalanta. A Bayern side that continues to rack up the goals despite the missing of Harry Kane, and also Manuel Neuer was injured during this game. But it felt like nothing was wrong for Bayern Munich, to be honest. Darin, you said last week that Bayern was your favorites for the title, and it's fair to say that they've wasted no time in securing their next qualification in quarterfinal at least. What can we say about this Bayern? Is this Bayern Munich the version we saw in 2020, 2013, when they were like scoring 5, 6 goals against all the teams and they were just unbeatable? Do you feel that mood in this Bayern Munich team this season?
I'm definitely feeling something similar. Not that exact mood, but definitely something similar to that. I think Vincent Kompany is doing a great job. He's a really focused guy. Also, props to his outfit as well. I've seen videos of his outfit on the bench. He dresses really, really well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But in the football terms, yeah, he's doing a really, really good job. And Bayern actually showed why they are my favorites in that game. I mean, Atalanta in the previous round, they came back against Borussia Dortmund. And then this round, Bayern Munich said, "Look, Dortmund, this is how you do it, not that way. This is how you do it." I mean, I'm saying this, but I hope Atalanta does not score like 5 goals in the next game somehow.
No, they won't. No worry.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. I cannot. Even I cannot jinx this time. So it's not gonna happen. But yeah, I think Bayern Munich are safe. So they're gonna go on to the quarterfinals. I think they have they have the potential to go all the way to the final. As I said, my prediction stands, and I think they're gonna win this Champions League this season. I think this year might be Bayern's year.
Yeah, your prediction makes a lot of sense. And also, I read some experts, some guys that were predicted the Champions League. Most of them were predicted Arsenal or Bayern Munich as the winners. But also an interesting one was that they think that Bayern Munich will win all of their games through the finals. And that's another aspect because, of course, they have the talent, they have the capacity to win that Champions League when we see the level of this season in terms of teams and in terms of play. But I think they're able to beat anyone. The only big team they haven't beat is Arsenal in the league phase. And imagine if they face each other again in the final. I think Bayern will not mess twice against this opponent. So yeah, Bayern Munich is just amazing. I just also want to mention the game and also the season of Michael Olise, the French player. He's just incredible. I think because it's Bayern Munich, we know that players, when you see Luis Diaz, when you see Olise, when you see Harry Kane, of course, they're going to score a lot of goals. They're going to provide a lot of assists. They're going to do great things. But the role and the adaptation of Michael Olise in this amazing team, coming from Crystal Palace, which was a great team, but that's not the same level as Bayern Munich, is unbelievable. And if he continues to play like this until the end of the season, I can't wait to see him with France at the World Cup and maybe to see him at the highest level of football this season. So yeah, just wanted to mention that amazing player. Yeah, Justice, tell us.
Now, just on Michael Olise, it was only recently that I found out that he was French. I actually
Yeah.
thought that he was English.
Yeah.
Just like when he was at Crystal Palace, like everything about him just said English, because he was playing with Eze, and then they had like similar styles, like they
Yeah.
get along really well. Just everything, his game, his his style, his celebration, everything about him. I was like, there's no way. Like I thought he was like English, and then I found out he's French. But yeah, this guy, what a player, unbelievable man, has got infinite aura on him. But yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Darian.
Also about Olise, I think you spotted a really, really good point, because when you come from a team like Crystal Palace, you are not used to playing in big teams. You are not used to playing memorized football. And what I mean by memorized football is that Bayern Munich and big teams like Bayern they're not playing transition football. They're not like sitting in defense waiting for counter-attack chances. They want to keep the ball. They want to play with the ball. But Crystal Palace, on the other hand, I mean, no disrespect to the team, but they're a mid-tier Premier League club, so they don't have that kind of football style, play style that their club is being linked with. They are one of the teams that needs to play according to their opponent. They analyze their opponent, they play based on their opponent. So when you pull a player from that kind of team, and then when you put him in a team like Bayern Munich, it's really hard to get integrated. For example, Luis Diaz didn't experience this that much because he was playing in Liverpool. He was already used to playing in
Yes.
a club and a big style of football. So he was not very surprised when he came to Bayern. But I've seen this in Wilfried Zaha, because he was playing in Crystal Palace for so many years. And then when he came to Galatasaray plays with a possession football. They want to keep the ball. And I should say that Wilfried Zaha was not very successful in adapting to that kind of play style. He was very used to playing counter-attack football, transition football. But when you look at Michael Olise in Bayern, I think he has the quality, he has the intelligence in the pitch that he can play in any team in the world right now. So I think you pointed out a very, very fair thing here. And I think if he plays for French national team in the World Cup, he's going to be successful in there too.
Yeah, and also I think that shows the efficiency and the intelligence of Bayern Munich transfer windows when it comes to recruiting attackers, especially. Except from Sadio Mane, who didn't have a great success in Bayern Munich recently. I don't remember any name that just flop at Bayern. I mean, in attack. Luis Diaz is amazing. Before Kingsley Coman, that was a great choice to sign him. All the players we saw at Bayern Munich were incredible, and it feels like Michael Olise was like the evidence to come to Bayern Munich and to play like this. To be honest, I thought that he will gonna be successful in this team, but not at this level. And the combination of Harry Kane, Luis Diaz, and Michael Olise as a trio in attack is really, really scary. And I think they're gonna do great things maybe this season and maybe in the future. Congrats to Bayern Munich for this victory. Guys, to round out this Tuesday evening, we are obviously going to talk about Atletico Madrid impressive victory over Tottenham, a 5-2 victory for the Madrid side with 4 goals scored in the first 22 minutes. I think in overall, it's like in 16 minutes, they score 4 goals. That's amazing. That's crazy. And that plunged the Spurs a little deeper into crisis. We were recently, Jotis, discussing that Atletico's new attacking forces, they score more goals, they're more open in the game. That's a good thing to watch that. Do you think this match signals a positive run ahead for Atletico Madrid? Or it's just a damning indictment of Tottenham because Tottenham is not a great opponent? Do you think that this game is something that Atletico can play on, or it's just that the opponent is too weak, in your opinion?
I think the reality is the opponent was really bad. Like,
Mhm.
if you look at the first 2 goals, it was literally handed to Atletico Madrid. So, I mean, they do have, like, good attacking power, but Griezmann, he's not a regular scorer in La Liga. If you look at the games, but he got on the score sheet like right away in that game. So it talks more about how bad Tottenham is at the moment than about Atletico's abilities. The reality is, like, the situation Tottenham is in, I'm not a fan, but it just feels sad. Like, it's just sad to see them just getting crumbled like and the goalkeeper as well. Like, we all saw what happened.
Yeah.
It's just it's just horrible, man. Like, I would wish that on Barcelona's keeper, but I don't know
Not
anybody
Tottenham's.
else.
Irrelevant.
Yeah.
I mean, why did
But
he
yeah,
the secondary goalkeeper?
what is this choice?
You know, do you remember in the previous episode I told you guys that I know Igor Tudor and he can do, like, in the league, in order to not get relegated, he can do a rotation in the Champions League. And this motherfucker
Yes.
did that. I predicted that. This motherfucker rotated his goalkeeper. I mean, who the fuck rotates a goalkeeper in a Champions League round of 16 game, man? Like, and it's even worse because he subbed out the goalkeeper and it's over for him, man. Like, can you imagine the mental state of that secondary goalkeeper? You make
Yeah.
mistakes and then immediately you get subbed out.
Yeah, it's bad. Like, the whole world was watching, and then it's
Man, Igor Tudor is a disaster of a coach. I don't
Man,
appreciate.
that strategy by this coach, I clearly don't understand what was his thinking at that time. Of course, and I think that was a good point you mentioned. With the situation they are facing in the Premier League, Tottenham needs to secure their place in the Premier League and leave the Champions League really fast because they don't have the level to go really far in this competition. And if they lose some strengths, they will be in the Championship next season. Okay, so that makes sense that even if you're in the round of 16, even if you want to get result against a big team like Atletico Madrid, that's acceptable to make some rotations, some players not playing and replacing by other one, maybe younger. I don't know. You can put some choices in place. But first of all, the goalkeeper, bro, I think if Vicario was playing directly on the game, he was not going to be really, really tired this weekend to play in the Premier League. That's not a big deal for a goalkeeper. And also, as you mentioned, this goalkeeper that replaced Vicario, really, really like unknown guy, has a chance to play in the Champions League. Maybe his only chance to play such a big game in the Champions League. Of course, concede 4 goals, but he's not the only responsible of that situation. The defense of Tottenham also is chaotic with players with way more experience in this competition than him. And then he's subbed off during first half. So that make any sense. And I think Igor Tudor won't last long time in Tottenham, and I'm not sure about the future of this team. If they have to do something, is to focus a lot on the Premier League, try to get good result, leave the Champions League ideas away, and try to secure their place in the Premier League next season. Because I think that illustrates perfectly how the situation in Tottenham is in the moment. No one is doing good decisions. No one is knowing what they're doing. I saw a TikTok of Xavi Simons playing video games just after the game, and that illustrates everything, man. Like, you're not concerned by your team, by what is happening in your team, and of course Tottenham is not Liverpool, is not Manchester United, but it's still a big team in England, and yeah, well, uh, I pray for Tottenham fans, even if it's not my team. I think neither to any one of us, but yeah, let's hope it's gonna be better, because that's a good European team still. Guys, let's move on to Wednesday evening results. Another exceptional night of European football, starting with the Arsenal's hard fought against Bayer Leverkusen. 1-1 at the end, also thanks to like kind of weird penalty at the end, but still they score it and manage to get a good result, like a better result than expected. Therein, when you see Arsenal playing in the Champions League and also in the Premier League right now, do you think the donors' complacency could prove detrimental to their chances of progressing? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that playing, in my opinion, Arsenal is playing like they just do their job, secure the result they want to get.
Yeah.
Maybe they will get the difference at home next week, but I'm even not sure they're going to destroy Bayer Leverkusen. Even if they score one goal, it's good and okay for them. Do you think that this attitude or this mentality can be a weakness for them in the rest of the competition?
I think it is a risk because like they are used to doing this in Premier League. Like they score a set piece goal and then they try to play a compact defensive game and they just try to hold on to the score. And we've seen this fail several times. Which game
Yeah.
was it? Was it against Wolverhampton, the 2-2, or was it against someone else?
Yeah,
Was Wolves, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if you can experience this against Wolves, there is no telling when you can experience this in Champions League as well. It can happen to you in Champions League. And also against Leverkusen, I don't think Arsenal played really, really well. And that penalty in the last minute, I'm not sure if that was a penalty. The referee was a Turkish referee. He's kind of controversial in Turkey, so I'm not surprised
Yeah.
in this kind of penalty. But yeah, I think Arsenal, I mean, they cannot change their tactics mid-season when we're coming to the business end of the season, but it can cause some problems. They are lucky to be on the right side of the bracket because if they were on the left side with all those teams like PSG, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and etc., they would struggle, I think. But the only team that can like struggle them on the right side is, I think, Barcelona if they can go through Newcastle. So yeah, unless something happens at the Barcelona game, I don't see any surprise knockout for Arsenal. I think they can go all the way to the final, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it's like a double interpretation of this draw for Arsenal, because on one side, of course, you have the chance to play against like weakest team than you are. Leverkusen, if you win, you're gonna play against normally Bodo Glimt or Sporting Lisbon, so you have the chance to get in the semi-final without any problem, in my opinion. But that's a good thing because they will save some forces. They will get some maybe more rest for the players. But on the other side, if you are not already in the rhythm of the competition, when it's time to face big opponents, as you mentioned, Barcelona, maybe Atletico Madrid in the semifinals, if they manage to get at this place, it's going to be hard to adapt for Arsenal. Of course, they're used to play big clashes in the Premier League, but I think, and we saw that because, as you mentioned, any English team has won their game this week, and that proves that even if the Premier League is really intensive in terms of play and in terms of form, it's not the same at all as the Champions League. In the Champions League, it's about moments, and I think Real Madrid is the best team to illustrate that. When it comes to the Champions League, you need to be efficient in your camp and in the other way. And if you are not enough efficient, you can get bad results. And I think even if Arsenal is playing against Atletico Madrid, for example, I'm not saying that Atletico Madrid will beat Arsenal and qualify, but Atletico Madrid will put so much pressure on Arsenal that maybe Arsenal can be a bit like, hesitant on the pitch. So yeah, that's a point to mention, I think. Yeah, let's continue, guys, because we have this lovely surprise of Bodo Glimt, who have followed up with another win in this championship. Justice, that's incredible to see how this Norwegian team is playing right now. 3-0 against Sporting. I do really thought that Sporting was gonna beat like maybe not at in the stadium, but like I didn't imagine that Bodo Glimt could continue this streak and win 3-0 against Sporting. Jotis, are you are of course impressed by this Bodo Glimt team, but do you think that can be start for a new way of play? I don't know, maybe new teams that can fight more with the big ones. Do you see something in this Bodo Glimt like adventure, let's say?
I think so. People have been seeing. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of comparisons of this Bodo Glimt to 2019 Ajax, who went all the way to the semi-finals, who beat Real Madrid in incredible fashion.
Yeah.
So I think they have this potential, and it's good to see because it's not often you see smaller teams. Smaller teams. What I mean by is that apart from the regulars who are always in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, it's very rare to see other teams here, and especially a team like Bodo Glimt, who I'm pretty sure most football fans, including us, never heard of before this Champions League season. Do you know what I mean?
No, I
So
knew them.
you did?
They beat Mourinho's Roma, I think, a couple of years ago in Conference League.
Yeah,
That
it's
was the
been
first time I
like
heard.
1 or 2 seasons, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not the most famous team, of course.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. But I mean, at least for me, like I've never heard of this team until this season, and even then, like it's only when they like made like back-to-back wins that's when we like started noticing that. It's great because as a competition, and this is what I was thinking about the other day as well. Like we all work in sports, like we all seen what happens behind the scenes, and as a competition, Champions League, like it feels like someone is actually writing the script for the game because there's drama for like every match day, like every
That's right.
Champions League weekday. You see, there's drama, there's surprises, there's unpredictability. So as a competition, it's just like if you're a football fan, you can't miss the Champions League because it's so good. Like it's absolute cinema. And Bodo Glimt is a prime example. Like you never see things in like people love an underdog story, and this is
Yeah.
perfect story. So I hope they can go much further in this competition. I'm not sure how much they can do. Like they can give me. Hopefully they get into the next round, but after that, I'm not sure. But you never know. You never know. In football, like anything can happen. But yeah, I'm really, really glad to see their progress so far.
Bro, I just checked on Google, and the population of the city Bodo, like their entire city, is 55,000. Can you imagine? City of 55,000 managed to come up with a team, build a team, and their squad value in transfer market is the lowest among of all the 16 teams in Champions League right now. And they managed to do this. Like they beat Man City, they beat Atletico Madrid, they eliminate Inter, and now they're about to eliminate Sporting Lisbon as well. I mean, this is insane. Bro. I mean, huge props to Bodo. They are the underdogs of the season so far, the dark horses.
Yeah, 100%.
That's crazy, and I think Darren, you can also talk about that. I think you will agree with that because I think even if you support a team like Galatasaray that can have the money to buy big players, can have the capacity to do good things. You know how it's hard to fight against that big teams in Europe, especially. And when you see that Bodo Glimt is not even playing in like Turkish Championship or Belgian Championship or Switzerland Championship, that can be a bit not equal, but then stay close to the Big Five, Big Four, Big Five championship they're playing in no way. That's amazing. And in this new version of the Champions League, to pass those 8 games in the league phase, to qualify in the playoffs, and then to beat Inter and now to beat Sporting, that's amazing. And I think, like, of course, we're gonna make conclusions when they will maybe get out this competition. We'll see where they will finish, but I think even if they stop in quarterfinals against Arsenal, that is going to be one of the greatest stories we've ever saw in the Champions League recently. Because you mentioned Ajax, for example. Of course, that 2019 run was unbelievable, but Ajax is a legendary team in football history. So we have this idea that of Ajax can be like one of the greatest, but Bodo Glimt, as you said, I think not all the people know this city, not this country. know everything about that, and now they're in the last phases of the Champions League. So yeah, congratulations to Bodo Glimt, and yeah, we'll see where they finish. Let's hope they're gonna beat Arsenal in the quarterfinals. That can be the perfect point for this scenario you were talking about, Judges.
Oh, dream.
100%. Just wanted to add, like we didn't talk about like the economic impact this is going to have on Bodo Glimt. Because
Yeah.
as you guys know, like each round you go, the more money you get. So, for example, I just looked up. If you reach if you reach the playoff of knockout rounds, you get €1 million, and then if you each reach round of 16, that's 11 million. And for a club like Bodo Glimt, that's a
Yeah.
huge amount of money because they're not here in usually. And if you go to the quarterfinals, that's 12.5 million per game, I think.
Mhm.
So that's So yeah, Bodo Glimt
Yeah.
is making money at least.
Making money, making history, and also something I think we should watch closely the Norway teams, but also in the World Cup. Do you remember that was my underdog in next World Cup because
Yeah.
what they did in the qualifiers for this World Cup was just amazing. I'm not saying they're gonna win the World Cup. I'm not saying Bodo Glimt is gonna win the Champions League, but that is maybe the year of Norway, and I think we will have lots of surprises with them in the future. So yeah, let's see. Guys, let's move on to the standout clashes of the round of 16. The first one was between PSG and Chelsea. I just will take few minutes to talk a bit about that game that I watched closely. Of course, the Parisians secured a 5-2 victory after a thrilling match at the Parc des Princes. The atmosphere, the supporters was. I think that was one of the greatest atmosphere I ever saw in the Parc des Princes by watching it at the television. I mean, that was unbelievable. So congratulations to PSG's supporters. And yeah, well, this result finally reassured me a bit about PSG's ambitions this season. You know that I was a bit worried about what they were able to do in this competition, but now I saw, of course, better teams. It was a peculiar match as the first half highlighted PSG's struggles, in my opinion, in front of goal and defensively, despite, and I have to say it, a very good performance from Bradley Barcola, which is in good form, and that is good because he scored his first goal in Champions League since a year. His last one was against Brest in the playoffs 2025, so it's been more than a year that he hasn't scored a goal, and he scored an amazing goal. That's a good thing. And Chelsea, on the other side, as usual, in the first half, play with their strengths, counter-attack, aggressivity, pressure, and yeah, managed to their opponent well. They did good thing in the first half. To be honest, at the halftime, I was thinking, I think that game is gonna end with a draw, and we'll see the decision next week in Stamford Bridge. But it came to the second half, an amazing second half when PSG really came to life. An amazing goal by Vitinha once again. What a player! What an amazing midfielder! And followed by a brace from Kvaratskhelia, who was on the bench at the start of the game. He was a bit criticized recently. People were, I don't know, really, like, I can understand. People were saying that in League One, he was not like as efficient he can be in Champions League, not as concerned he can be in Champions League, and not as focused he can be in great games. But we have to admit it, in each great game that PSG is facing since his arrival, he's doing amazing. Scoring the Champions League final, scoring against Aston Villa last year, scoring this year against Leverkusen in the Champions League, scoring like even in the big games of League One, is one of the greatest player always in those games. And his brace to amazing goal. The first one is like his special, like amazing shot and on the corner, and with the effect of the ball, the goalkeeper can do nothing. So yeah, congratulations to Kvaratskhelia. And yeah, well, basically a good and very well-deserved victory for PSG, 5-2. I think the decision is made. I hope so. And also, yeah, last thing is that I finally saw few things about last year's PSG that I was really missing this year. And I hope that game is going to be like, the starting point for great performances to come. Yeah, Darren.
I just want to point out Bradley Barcola, I think, did a really, really good job in that game as well. I think if he had a good finishing, if he had great finishing, he would be one of the best wingers in the world. His only problem, I would say, is finishing. But he impressed me.
Yeah, that is frustrating, and that's why I was a bit like hard with him, because I think you're hard with your players that they are able to do things. The players that have a good level but will never be the greatest players of the world, you won't be like bad with them because you know their capacities. I think Bradley Barcola, as you said, has so many talents, has so many good style of plays that he needs to work, and he did. We saw, and he confirmed in interview and press conferences that he worked a lot on his finishing, on his placement in the pitch, and his goal and his assist against Chelsea was the proof of that. And congratulations to him, congratulations to Dembele, who scored once again an amazing goal. Like, his season is kind of weird because he's always injured and then come back and then he's re-injured. So we just see some few extracts of the good version of Dembele, but when he's in Champions League mode, he's just impressive, and his goal against Chelsea was just wonderful. And congratulations to PSG, to the midfield, to the defense too. So yeah, that was a great result, and I'm really happy about it, to be honest. Guys, let's wrap up this debrief with the big match of the week. Of course, I put it at the end because we're going to talk about that amazing game. Real Madrid took on Man City at the Bernabeu without Jude Bellingham, without Rodrigo, without Kylian Mbappe, without a lot of other players too. Guys, did you catch that mad match? 3-0 win with the hat-trick from Valverde. Justice, you were obviously delighted with the win. Tell us a bit about that game.
If you guys remember in the last episode, I mean, I was cocky with Real Madrid saying we were going to win
Yes.
this league, but I did admit that we're not exactly good at the moment. That I had my doubts regarding the game against Man City, and I did have that still going into that game. But wow, like unbelievable! Like that's you cannot write scripts like this. Like Valverde scoring a hat trick in a knockout game against Man City. That if someone had put money on that guy is going places, you know what I mean? Because this is, no one saw this coming. Unbelievable game. Real Madrid played arguably their best game of the season. They were like, we were so good moving forward. We were incredible in defense. That's particularly a field we've been struggling really, but really this season. But we were really compact. And again, who's in defense? Valverde. Who's running in midfield? Valverde. Who's scoring goals? Valverde. What a guy! What a player! And then I'm really glad about the way we played as a team. Like you said, there's tons of players missing and in key positions as well, but they just stepped up. We perform, and when I look at the lineup right before the game, I was like, we're surely not beating Man City with this lineup. But boy, I was wrong. But yeah, incredibly happy with the game. I think that with this victory, we're almost there. We just need to like keep the same game going in next week. But yeah, we should be there. But now I believe this team can go places.
Yeah, that's right. I am the good example because I predicted that Real Madrid will not pass through this double confrontation. To be honest, even if I had to bet before the game, I thought that Real Madrid won't win one game of those two ones. You know what I mean? Because I found them too weak. I'm not saying that Man City's version of this 2026 edition is the best one, but I think they were more stable, they were more consistent than Real Madrid. Real Madrid had a lot of injured players, missing players, but they impressed me. I rewatched the game because I wanted to. Of course, I was watching PSG Chelsea, and just after that, I watched that game because that was amazing. I'm really happy for Federico Valverde, of course, because we said it in this podcast, and we all agree on that he is Real Madrid. He is the captain. He represents what we love in football, that humility, but also this aspect of he's always hungry. He always wants to do great things and to encourage his partners. That's amazing. And also one thing is important to point out is the reflection, the strategy of Guardiola during that game. When I saw the lineups and when I saw the games after that, I thought that maybe Pep Guardiola was taking this game too lightly. I'm not saying that he was sure to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu, but even his reaction, like the 3 goals were scored in the first half and nothing happens at the halftime, nothing happens after. You know what I mean? It's kind of weird because you can concede 3 goals, but if in the second half you scored at least only 1 goal, it's 3-1 or 3-2 or even 4-2, you have the possibility to do something in the return leg, and you have the mental aspect in this game that is increasing, right? And the reaction of Man City was like inexistent, phantomatic, and I think Real Madrid could have like score more goals than only 3 in this game. To be honest, they were so like they were beating Man
Penalty.
City with so ease. Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Darren, I know you saw that game too. What were you thinking when you saw that result?
I mean, it kind of surprised me because I've always said that in Premier League, Man City were inconsistent, but I thought in Champions League they could beat this Real Madrid side because Real Madrid are not having the best season of their potential. We all
Yeah,
know
sure.
Xabi Alonso was gone. Arbeloa came as an interim manager. There were like kind of a chaos in the team between some players. You know, Vinicius, Bellingham, all that stuff. And also Mbappe was missing. Bellingham was missing. But this performance, while Mbappe and Bellingham were not playing, I didn't expect that. I think Real Madrid put on a really, really great show. Of course, Valverde is the star of the night, but apart from Valverde, I think the whole team was really, really good. Even Arda Güler, I just want to praise him, you know, since he's my Turkish mate. And that pass that he threw to Vinicius right before the penalty was absolutely amazing. Of course, he missed the penalty. It can happen in football, but I think Real Madrid put on a really, really good show. And like you said, Jules, what surprised me was Pep Guardiola not giving a good reaction. I mean, sure, Man City had some chances in the second half, but I expected kind of more from them. Maybe one goal, maybe even 2 goals. I expected to go back to Etihad with 1 or 2 goal difference, but it didn't happen. And I don't see Man City winning against Real Madrid with a 3 goal difference in Etihad. I think Real Madrid got this tour for now.
Yeah, well, of course, this game is going to be interesting. I think the atmosphere will be crazy at the Etihad, but like as we said, the mental aspect is on the way of Real Madrid. To be honest, they have it, and also Man City didn't score a goal. So yeah, it's that's even if the old rule of Champions League that scoring away was translating double is not existing anymore. The in your head when you score, even if you lose 4-1, you know that you can score against this opponent. So you're like praising to do great things at home, and like maybe you'll see. But now 3-0, 3 goals on the first half. I think the decision can be made, but yeah, we'll see that next Tuesday to see who will qualify for the quarterfinals. Guys, we don't have a lot of time to today to discuss about other subjects. Of course, there are going to be interesting games, especially in the Premier League this weekend. We have a good Man United and Aston Villa. We also have this Liverpool against Tottenham. But if you're okay with that, I prepared a little quiz for you. Talking about the Champions League. We'll see if we have time to do everything, but it's basically simple. It's about Champions League, of course, because that's the subject of today. Here's what we're going to do. I'll give you, like, I asked you a question. The first question is simple. You'll see there's only one answer, and you'll see for the rest, I will give you a subject, and one by one, each of you will give me an answer. The first one to give the more answers will win the point. Let's say we'll see if we did points. Let's see if we did things like this. But it's just to have like the 10 last minutes a bit funny for us and talking a bit about the championship. So really simple. So we were talking about that game. Sorry, between Man City and Real Madrid and Manchester City. You know, guys, that Wednesday evening marked the 18th meeting between Real Madrid and Manchester City since 2012. Real Madrid have the upper hand with 8 wins to the English sides, I think, with 6. And 6 draws, if I'm not mistaken. I'd like to, or maybe less, but never mind. The question is simple. There's only one player that have scored against Real Madrid playing for Man City and scored against Man City playing for Real Madrid since 2012. I want you to give me that player, and without cheating.
Since 2012, you said.
Yeah.
So one player scored against Man City for Real Madrid and then scored against Real Madrid for Man City.
Yeah, maybe in that order, maybe in the other one, but there's only one.
Okay, so one player who played for both teams.
Yes.
This is, I don't think it's an easy one. Let's see.
Adebayor? Emmanuel Adebayor?
No, it's not. Maybe before,
Maybe
but like it's a more like to help you a bit. It's a more recent player, and he's still playing in one of these 2 clubs.
He's still playing. What?
Oh, Brahim Diaz.
Yes. Exactly. Brahim Diaz
What?
scored. Yeah, Brahim Diaz scored in 2017 with Man City.
Yeah, I knew
Yeah.
he was at City. Yeah, he was at
Oh, I
City.
didn't
He
know
was at
that.
Milan,
Wow.
and then he was at Madrid.
Yeah, Brahim Diaz, and you remember that goal in 2023 or 2025 against Man City in this
Yeah.
great win of Real Madrid. So yeah, that player was Brahim Diaz. I was surprised
That's a
when I
good one.
watched that,
I
but
like
yeah,
that.
of course. Yeah, that was the frustration. Now another one. The year 2026, of course, takes us back 20 years ago to the 2006, let's say 2006 final between Arsenal and FC Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I know we were young, but if you think about and if you guess, maybe, I want you to guess the 16 teams that were on the round of 16 back in 2020, in 2006. You can give me like false answers, never mind. But yes,
Okay.
just give me names, and the one that give me the more good answers win this round. Okay, I just take the answer day because I don't remember, to be honest.
Uh-huh.
Well,
There
first
are
of all,
some, of course, one and some more hard ones. Yeah, tell me.
okay, first of all, there has to be Manchester United there for sure.
Yeah,
Man United
I would
should be
guess so
there,
as
right?
well. Yeah.
They are
That's a
not
wrong
there.
answer.
What?
Yeah,
No
Man
way.
United were not in the round of 16 in this year. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
Wow, that is actually crazy.
Okay, to Real Madrid for sure.
Yes, they've been beaten by Arsenal. Yeah, I said that Arsenal and Barcelona won the final. Arsenal beat Real Madrid in the round of 16 in this year.
Is
Okay,
there
so
Leverkusen maybe?
Leverkusen is not, but there is another, like other German teams, but like another German team that we're not talking about today, to be honest. But back in the time, maybe more.
Hamburg maybe?
No, it's not Hamburg.
Wow, but they're not Bayern Munich if you said we didn't talk about them today.
Wolfsburg.
It's not Wolfsburg, Bayern Munich. Yeah, it's not the team I thought about, but was in the round of 16. They've been beaten by Bayern Munich, by another team.
Okay.
Dortmund.
Milan.
Milan exactly beat Bayern Munich in this round of 16, and I think went through the semifinals where they were beaten by Barcelona.
Okay, so
You have three, to give you maybe a hint, you have three teams that were in the semifinals: Arsenal, AC Milan, and Barcelona. There another one, but it's kind of hard to guess it, to be honest.
yeah.
Is it a Spanish team?
It is a Spanish team, yes.
Valencia. Has to be Valencia, right?
No, it's not
No.
Valencia, but it's not Valencia, but it's kind of similar to that.
Sevilla.
No, and let me check if Sevilla was in the round of 16. No, they were not. No Sevilla.
I don't think it's Atletico Madrid. There's no way it can be Atletico Madrid.
No, and they were not two in the round of 16.
They were not big back then.
Um,
Villarreal maybe?
Exactly. The first team in the semifinal was Villarreal back
Oh,
in
yeah.
time. So yeah, exactly. Can you guess some other teams? Like there are some easy ones, to be honest, and
Chelsea
some
maybe?
like hardest ones.
Chelsea.
Chelsea, yes. Good
Yeah.
answer.
Chelsea. Liverpool.
Is there like a French
Yes,
team there?
Liverpool.
Marseille maybe?
Yes, there was one French team. It's not Marseille.
It's Lyon?
Lyon. Good answer. Yeah, Lyon.
Wow.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
So how many teams do we have left?
So you said Arsenal, said Real Madrid, said Villarreal, you said Milan, Bayern Munich, Lyon, Liverpool, and Chelsea. So you have 8 on 16. You have 8 more.
8 more, okay. Inter maybe? Inter Milan?
Inter, yeah, good answer. There's an also Italian team.
Juventus. has
Another
to be.
one. Yes, Juventus, exactly.
Is there one more German team? Is it Dortmund?
No, it's not Dortmund.
Well, there is
Yeah,
one
this
more.
one is, I think, yeah, this is the hardest one. I think with another one that like no one can think about that team. I'll tell you maybe later because that's kind
Maybe
of
Schalke?
impossible to think about it.
Schalke or Stuttgart? I'm just like
No,
random guess.
it's no.
But
Damn.
it's a German team. There's one more German team.
Yeah, there's one more German team. There's
Köln.
yeah. Well, you didn't say. Did you say Barcelona? Yes, you said because after we talked about Atletico Madrid. Yeah, and then the other team left are from championship that are not in the big championships. So that is kind of hard. But we talk about one of them in this podcast.
Sporting?
Sorry, no, it's not Sporting, but there is another Portuguese
Ajax.
team.
Has to be Ajax, right?
Yes, that's a good answer. Yeah.
Wow.
They were good back then. Yeah, I remember. So the
And
rest
there's also another Portuguese team.
Porto.
Benfica?
Yeah, Benfica. Good answer. And Well, I'll give you the last names because we're going to spend a lot of time.
Yeah.
We had PSV Eindhoven. Okay.
Okay.
We had the German team, that was Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen. Oh, damn.
I was not gonna guess that.
Yeah. And the last one, I think the hardest one, is Glasgow Rangers. They were in the round of 16 and they even went in the quarterfinals. No, they lost against Villarreal. Yeah. Okay. Well,
Wow.
Glasgow Rangers.
Ages.
Yeah.
Lots of underdogs in that Champions League. Wow.
Yeah, lot of them, and yeah, Villarreal in the semi-final lost against Arsenal. So yeah,
Yeah.
that was kind of interesting, guys. I have two last questions for you, maybe more easy. Let me just go on the website. But basically, we've been talking about Michael Olise today, of course.
Yes.
He's currently the top assist provider in this Champions League, level with Vinicius, with 7 assists. Here's a simple question. I want you to give me the 10 best assist providers in the competition history. There are 10. I want those names. You know everyone.
We know
Okay.
everyone. Okay. Has to be Lionel Messi for sure.
Lionel Messi is in this list, but he's third in the list.
Third. Okay.
Kevin De Bruyne.
De Bruyne, yeah, is 5 with 31 assists.
Zidane for sure. He has to be there, I think, right? Zidane.
Zidane is not in the 10 first. No.
Really? Wow.
Luka
Iniesta?
Modric.
Iniesta is 11th and Luka Modric is not in the top 10 too.
Damn. Wow.
Toni Kroos.
Toni Kroos is not in the top 10. You have, well, I can give you hints because it's going to be
Yeah.
easy, but there are one player that is still playing in big teams to sell, and other players that are still playing but in lightest teams right now.
Benzema.
Yes, Benzema is at the 10th position. Exactly.
Okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo has to be there, right? I mean,
Of course, and his first 42 assists in the Champions League. He's the
42,
best
wow.
assist providers.
Top
Messi
scorer.
has 40,
Wow.
Cristiano Ronaldo 42, and there is one player between those two with 41 assists.
Is it like Di Stefano?
No, it's like all the players, we've saw them play.
Oh, we saw them. Okay, maybe Neymar?
Yeah.
Has to be
Neymar
Neymar.
is fourth.
Fourth,
Neymar
okay.
is
He's fourth. Yeah.
Well,
So
who's
you
sec-
said Ronaldo, Messi, Neymar, De Bruyne, and Benzema. You have 5, and you miss 5 others.
Okay. Kylian Mbappe, maybe?
No, but there is a natural Real Madrid player in this top with 31 assists
Vinicius.
already.
He has to be Vinicius, right?
Vinicius.
Yeah.
Yes, Vinicius had 31 assists, same level as Kevin De Bruyne in the Champions League. That's crazy because that's a huge amount.
That's actually bad. Yeah.
Yes, there is 2 players that are still playing, but they are more close to the retirement at the beginning of their career, and
Okay.
2 players that are not still playing, but were legends of the clubs.
Maybe Edin
Xavi.
Dzeko.
No, Dzeko, no, but what did you say, Jadis?
Xavi.
Xavi is a good answer, yes. 30 assists, exactly.
Who's the second one? I'm just like really curious on the
Yeah.
second one there.
Yeah, the second one, if I can help you, has played with Cristiano Ronaldo and with Lionel Messi, also with Neymar.
Di Maria?
Exactly, Angel Di
Oh.
Maria, 41 assists. Yeah, well done.
That's
41 assists for Angel Di Maria. And you missed 2 players. One made his whole career in an English club that was really successful back in 20 years ago, maybe.
Skull.
Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs, yeah. Ryan Giggs, exactly, is 31 assists too, same as Vinicius. And the last one used to play in Bayern Munich and left the club recently.
Left recently.
Mane.
Thomas Müller, exactly. Good answer. Guys, you're good. So yeah, the top 10 basically is Ronaldo, Di Maria, Messi, Neymar, Vinicius,
Mhm.
De Bruyne, Giggs, Xavi, Thomas Müller, and Karim Benzema. So yeah, nice list, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's really good.
Guys, if you have time just for a last one,
Yeah, go on.
tell
Go
me
on.
if it's cool for you.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
The last one is simple because it's more recent, but you need to have good memory, okay?
Okay.
Mhm.
We're going to look back, of course, at my favorite Champions League campaign, namely the 2025 edition and PSG victory, of course. That makes
Yeah.
sense. I'd like you to give me the name of players who scored at least 5 goals in that tournament. At least 5 goals. So 5 goals count and more. And I'll tell you the How many are they? They are, we have more than 20 players. So yeah, just give me names and I'll tell you if you're good or not.
Rafinha.
Rafinha, first.
Dembele,
Mm-hmm.
Dembele, yes, 8 goals.
Mbappe. For
Mbappe,
Sure.
Mbappe, 6 goals. 7 goals, sorry.
Harry Kane.
Haaland.
Haaland and Harry
Haaland
Kane.
is a good answer. 8 goals. Harry Kane, 11 goals. Yeah.
Okay. Who else? Vinicius.
Vinicius, 8 goals. Yes.
Lewandowski,
Yes, 11 goals for Lewandowski.
Oh, he scored a lot. Wow.
Lamine Yamal.
Yamal, 5 goals. Yes, good answer.
Okay.
Lautaro. Is he there?
Lautaro Martinez, I saw him. Yes, 9 goals, exactly. You miss the second one, and then you miss like other players. But yeah, you don't tell me the second one.
Hakimi,
No, Hakimi has 4 goals.
Dembele.
4 goals. Okay.
Did we say Dembele?
Yeah, we did say
Yeah,
Dembele.
we said. Yeah, the second one has the same number of goals as Rafinha, 13 goals last season.
Whoa.
Scored
Who
13
is
goals
that?
last season.
PSG Inter final. Who was in the semi-finals?
There was against PSG. Someone from Bukayo Saka?
Declan Rice.
Sorry?
So I said Declan Rice. Is he on the list?
No, it's not Declan Rice, and he's
Bukayo
not
Saka?
playing at Arsenal. Bukayo Saka is on the list with 6 goals, so good answer.
Okay, so not an Arsenal. Who was the other semi-final? It was it was Inter Barcelona.
Arsenal versus PSG and
Yeah, Arsenal PSG Inter Barcelona.
was Gordon in was Newcastle? Oh, they got knocked out, right? Newcastle were not.
And it's not Gordon.
Who had the highest score? Salah.
No, Mohamed
Is he-
Salah, and I think he's not even on the list.
Oh
Wow.
damn!
What
Yeah,
We
yeah.
messed up big time, man. I don't remember.
Well, that's the objective to name me that player with 13 goals last season.
All right, let's
goals.
try that one
Yeah.
specifically. Who scored 13 goals last season? Can you give like a hint on this league, like domestic league?
Wait, Mbappe.
No, we said
No,
Mbappe.
7 goals for Mbappe. I can say that his team stopped in the quarterfinals last season, if I'm not mistaken. And I can say also that he's not playing either in Spain or in England.
He's not playing in. Oh, right now or
Hey,
before?
Not Spain, not England.
Right now and before, he's in the same team.
Where was Osimhen?
No,
Nope.
outside we're not in
No.
Champions League last season.
Yeah.
Europa League.
McTominay.
So not in England. That means maybe from an Italian league. But wait, who was in Napoli? Was it
Nope.
Guara? No,
It's not.
not true. It's not in Italy.
Wait, it's not in
Damn.
Spain. It's not in England. It's in Germany. Harry Kane.
Yeah.
Said Harry
It's
Kane.
not Hurricane. Hurricane has 11 ones, but it's not Hurricane. Someone has more goals than Hurricane and playing in Germany. You're right.
Playing in Germany. who has more-
Guirassi? Well, how was his name spelled? Guirassi?
Exactly. Serhou Guirassy.
really?
That's a good
Wow.
answer. Yes. 13
I-
goals for that
Wow.
that player last season in the Champions League. That's amazing because we don't remember it. But yeah, you
Yeah.
remember he was scoring against everyone, even against Barcelona. He scored, I think, in the quarterfinals. But yeah, 13 goals for Guirassy last season. Yes. Well done, guys. That was cool to do that. You were good. The Guirassy one was kind of tricky, right? But
Yeah.
you find it at the final. So yeah, well done, guys. It's already the end of this podcast, everyone. I hope you enjoy what you watch, what you listen on our various platforms. Once again, please feel to follow us on social media. It's really important to us. We'll be there, of course, next week, guys. Good luck for your teams in the Champions League. I hope we're gonna get good results and good games to commentate next week. And yes, bye bye, and see you next week.
Bye bye, everyone. See you.
Bye. See you next week.